Hello, my name is Teresa Ilgan. I'm a teacher at West Mesa High School in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And happy Banned Books Week! Banned Books Week 2020. This year, I'm going to be reading a selection from Book George. This book was the most challenged book of 2019, mainly because there is a transgender main character, and that was seen as causing problems for the traditional family structure. So here we go. Mr. Adele passed by George's desk. To be honest, I'm not sure what I think of a person who doesn't cry at the end of Charlotte's Web. You didn't, George mumbled. I did the first 3 times, and a good number of times since. Miss Udell paused, and for a moment it looked as though she might tear up right then. My point is, it takes a special person to cry over a book. It shows compassion, as well as imagination. Miss Udell patted George's shoulder. Don't ever lose that, George, and I know you'll turn into a fine young man. The word man hit like a pile of rocks, falling on George's skull. It was 100 times worse than boy, and she couldn't breathe. She bit her lip fiercely and felt fresh tears pounding against her eyes. She put her head down on her desk and wished she were invisible. Miss Udell returned with the bathroom pass. It was a worn wooden block from kindergarten class and read boys in thick green permanent marker on one side. George flipped the block over with a hollow slap, so the side facing her read room 205. Miss Udell put her hand on George's shoulder, but George shook her off and stood up. She could barely see her way out of the classroom door through her tear-blurred eyes, and she navigated the hallway more from memory than sight. She stumbled, sobbing into the bathroom, the boys' bathroom. Her lips trembled, and salty tears dripped into her mouth. George hated the boys' bathroom. It was the worst room in school. She hated the smell of pee and bleach, and she hated the blue tiles on the wall to remind you where you were, as if the urinals didn't make it obvious enough. The whole room was about being a boy, and when boys were in there, they liked to talk about what was between their legs. George tried never to use it when there were any boys inside. She never drank from the water fountains at school, even if she was thirsty. And some days she could make it through the school day without having to go once. George put her head down close to the faucet and splashed cold water over her neck until she shivered. Then she rubbed a clump of paper towels on her head. She combed strings of still wet hair with her fingers and smiled weakly at herself in the mirror. I think that no matter how you identify or who you are or what your path is in this world, I think that as humans, we should all accept each other. And that's why I chose a selection from George. And I really hope that you are able to find something that makes you happy, that you can read to celebrate Banned Books Week. Have a good one, everyone.